If you're anything like me, when you're trying to find the right home, it does come down to what amenities are available, where the location is, what's there to do in the area. I'm here to show you today a great community that has over 300 opportunities, and right now, at the time of this video, they're only 15% sold out. So you have a massive opportunity here to buy when the prices are at their lowest in this community, and then build that equity as the community continues to develop. So right now, this community has very low HOA and no CDD. You have access to a pool and a cabana, you have a playground, and you even have some walking trails. Let me show you what we got going on today in St. Cloud, Florida. So before we dive in, let's talk about St. Cloud, Florida. St. Cloud, Florida, as of a few years ago, had a population of 62,000 people. Kissimmee, right next door, 79,000, and Orlando has over 300,000 people. So St. Cloud is not as populated as Kissimmee and Orlando are, so you have this little small town feeling, but you still have access to all the great amenities. They have a St. Cloud lakefront park, which, as you can see, is amazing. It has splash pads, it has the tot lot playground, and then it has like this cool little beach, and you can play volleyball and have some amazing water views as well. So in this great lakefront park, you could bring your family and enjoy it for the day, get wet a little bit right there in the splash pad, or just hang out in the sun if you wanted to. Pretty relaxing if you ask me. Let's also talk about some attractions in the area. So St. Cloud has Reptile World Serpentarium. And I went through there, and you get to see some alligators, you got some turtles, some iguanas. Look at this iguana right here, who's just chilling there. Look at this big boy. This thing was massive. And then you have all these snakes. Some of them were pretty scary, some of them were pretty big. And not too far away, you have small little plazas and shopping centers. They just built a new one where they have a Ross, they have the Marshalls, they have the Hobby Lobby. Right in there, they just put a Zaxby's, a new chicken spot. They have an Outback. They got, restaurants in there, shopping. Nice little shopping center right there in St. Cloud, Florida. And then if you want to unwind, they have the Lake Runnymede Conservation Area. A nice little trail. You can go walk around, maybe take the dog out, just have some alone time right there. It's pretty nice. It was pretty quiet. I actually got lost a few minutes in, but then I found my way back out. And then lastly, right next to the St. Cloud Lakefront Park, you have the Dan Terrell Memorial Point. So you can get this great, breeze from the wind while walking near the water. It's a nice little memorial point, and they have a pavilion right at the end of it that you can rent as well if you want to do any events. So a lot of my clients are first-time home buyers, and one of the biggest things you have to know when you're buying a property with a mortgage is what the breakdown of the mortgage is. Basically broken down into PITI. So you have principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. So two of those things are going to remain consistent throughout the life of the loan if you were to go with a fixed rate mortgage, which is the principal and the interest. So you know what your interest is going to be and your principal is going to be. The taxes and insurance, that's what might change. And sometimes buyers don't know that, and then after a year or two, their mortgage changes, and then they're like, oh, what happened? Well, I'm here to talk to you about how the taxes and the insurance work in the PITI mortgage equation. So the taxes are going to be reassessed after the first year when you buy a new construction, because right now the taxes are just on the land itself. And then next year, once they reassess, the taxes because of the property you just purchased, it'll be a little bit higher or much higher. And what happens is with the right lender, title company, and builder and realtor, they'll make sure that you don't have that sticker shock later on in a year by making sure that they escrow the correct amount right when they're starting up your loan package and everything. Sometimes if they put in the wrong taxes up front, about a year later when they reassess and then it's time to actually pay the correct taxes, you might get that big sticker shock. And then you want to make sure you shop around for insurance. So you don't want to go with the first insurance option you go with. You want to basically go with like maybe an insurance broker that has access to multiple carriers. My team is partnered with insurance brokers that shop about 20 to 30 different carriers in one shop. So we're able to get you the best deal. And every year or every 2 years, if you want to, find a new insurance option, we can also help you with that as well. So reach out to us as well after that. That's the breakdown of how the mortgage is set up with PITI. Sorry to interrupt. There is more of the property tour, but I wanted to take a quick moment to ask to subscribe to this channel or like this video if you find any of this content valuable. And I also wanted to talk about the community real quick. So this community, Amelia Groves, will have 311 homes upon full completion. At the time of this video right now, out of the 311 homes, they have sold about 15% of the community, which is, quick math, 311 times 15%. They got about 46 homes that they've sold so far. They have multiple floor plans, some amazing floor plans. You're gonna have the bungalow series, the classic series. You're gonna have the estate plans. Those are the huge 60-foot lot ones. In the community itself, some of the amenities are the pool and cabana. You got the children's playground. There's no CDD and very low HOA, but what's amazing is that the high-speed internet and the TV service is included in your HOA fee. You're gonna have walking trails for relaxation as well. Now, when you're buying a property, let's talk about some of the numbers, because sometimes some first-time home buyers don't really know what it costs to buy a property. So when you buy a property as a first-time home buyer, depending on how much you put down, that's gonna affect your monthly payment. So let's just use common numbers here. A typical buyer will put like 3.5% down or 5% down. That's the down payment. Now, when you're buying a home, there's also closing costs. So when you estimate closing costs, you want to go anywhere between 3 to 5%. We'll just use 4% as a scenario for this example or whatever. So 3.5% for a down payment plus 4% for closing costs is about 7.5%. So when you get one of these houses for like 380, 380 times 7.5%, you have a 28,500 number. Now, what happens is a good realtor is gonna help you get some closing costs to get some of that money, covered as well. So the builders are gonna have incentives, and our job is to fight to get you more. So, if you want somebody on your side that's gonna, get you the most amount of money possible or credit, you just gotta reach out to me. So 28,500 gets you in the door into their lowest priced home right now. And then what happens is, if you're doing like a VA loan, so it'll be 100% down, you just have to worry about the closing costs. Now, in the perfect scenario, you get the VA loan, you get the closing costs, and your out of pocket is not much. You do have to still put a deposit, but with the VA loans that I've closed before with new construction, when all of the incentives kick in, sometimes you'll get a refund at closing, so you'll walk out with a refund check, which is awesome. Right now, at the time of this video, the preferred lender for this builder is offering a 5.75 30-year fixed rate. So when you go out to the resale market and they're in the 6, 7, and 8s, and you're paying crazy amount of money monthly for something that's not as nice as this, you're better off coming into one of these properties, getting a reduced rate and some closing costs and a brand new property. At the time of this video, this community is starting at $373,000, and the square footages range from 1662 to 4194. So you have just a little under 1,700 and just as high as 4,200 square feet. Let's go back to the property tour.